So it's Sunday night. I'm not going to be around, unfortunately, the next 2 days. It's the Jewish New Year. I know a lot of people in our community may be celebrating that. It's a difficult time to not be live with the market because we are at a critical juncture at the 200-week moving average, and there's lots of other things going on with some individual stocks. So let's look at that 200-week moving average so we can handicap what's going to be happening here. All right, there we are with the 200-week moving average. You can see actually on the QQQ, we touched it on Friday, right there. It actually tapped the 200-week moving average, but the SPY is going to be more important here. So there's definitely a little bit more to go before we can test that right here. So you've got to bounce right off that to be an official test of the 200-week moving average. Okay, so there's the 200-week moving average. Now, history says you're going to bounce off of it. So I am actually overweight, looking for a short-term bounce off this 200-week moving average. Now, we've shared a lot of research. There's been a lot of collaboration in the rooms. The whole thing about story trading is collaborating with other people. It's not about my opinion. I try to convey the net opinion of what I'm seeing in the community. So we've shared a lot of articles, a lot of consensus and opinions that, hey, this is just the beginning. And I've been saying that for a long time, right? That there's a great chance that this is mirroring the dot-com bust and we're going to go below the 200-week moving average. And it could be several quarters before we find the bottom, okay? That doesn't mean you can't trade, right? You can't find a tradable bounce off the 200-week moving average. And also doesn't mean that certain sectors haven't bottomed, right? So let's go to the ARKK. Now, I'm hoping this $35 level holds, okay? That $35 level was the low I tried to call out a few months ago. It's awfully close. I mean, if we break below the 200-week moving average, it's going to be a tall order to ask the ARK not to make a new low, okay? But there's specific sectors out there like healthcare. There's a lot of M&A going on, right? We've talked about Canoe and Signify and DRIO and talk and all that, and we'll get into that. So I basically remain optimistic in terms of our ability to find opportunities, to find trading bottoms, and to find stocks which will buck the market trend. And I'll continue trying to do that, all the while having my eyes wide open to the possibility that we can break that 200-week moving average, hopefully after a bounce this week, right? By the way, not necessarily will you get the bounce, but history says you will get a nice bounce off this level. It may, again, that SPY may touch it first. So tomorrow morning, you may see a little sell off at the beginning to reach that 200 moving average, and then you may have a bounce for several days or weeks, whatever it is. But I eyes wide open to the macroeconomic situation, the geopolitical situation, especially I have big concerns about what may be going on with Russia and China and the US dollar, and perhaps an effort to, go away from the US dollar as a global reserve currency. And who knows what that means for the economy. So there is certainly the possibility that we are going to break that 200-week moving average again, hopefully after a bounce. And that means at least several quarters, could be at least several quarters of downturn. Now, the other thing in history says, if you start buying now and you buy throughout the next 3 to 6 to 9 months, right, this is the time millionaires are made. It's the hardest part. The hardest part is if we break this because we're going to reach levels where people are going to be, even people in safe money, in Apple, in Google, in bonds, right? They're going to be like, crap, I have less money than I had 3-4 years ago. And people are going to be throwing in the towel, right? So this historically is a time millionaires are made if you can hold on to money to invest at these bottoms, if you persevere and don't get scared out. But again, there are absolutely no guarantees. Could this be the one time in history where the ultra bears are right? And this is basically the end of America. We've seen our peak. That's always possible too. You got to put it out there. Okay. So there's no guarantees. Got to have your eyes wide open. Now let's get into some specific stocks, some technical, some catalysts that we're looking at. KMPH, Chris Tarbert in our community has been on top of this. In the KMPH room, he put up some new research, new shared diligence, which seems really interesting. And it's bouncing off the 2050 and 200. Well, I don't want to say bouncing off. It's touching it now. It's at these support levels. So this is interesting as a possible entry here. I already own some, but I may be interested in picking up more tomorrow. Now, I won't be around tomorrow, but I might place a limit order or something in because it looks like they're seeing some good acceleration in the script numbers. and very good balance sheet. And again, a nice place on the technical. So where else do we see opportunities here? Look at RELL, 200-day moving average. It bounced off it on Friday. Relative low RSI at 30. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly maybe has a little bit more room on the weekly here. But again, 200 DMA, always a good spot. So there's a VIP pick with great fundamentals. RELL, another one that you may want to be looking into on a week like this. Let's see where AIR's at. AIR on the weekly chart is trying to find support here at that red line, the 50-week moving average. The daily doesn't look as impressive. Daily maybe looks like it has more room to the downside, but we do have the catalyst coming up. Earnings are October 6th, is it? Yep. And we're interviewing the CEO October 7th. So if you're not a StoryTrading VIP yet, you can sign up at StoryTrading.com to listen to that interview with Gain Erickson, CEO of AIR, on October 7th. So both of these, all of these at certain support levels, right? The RELL and KMPH, a lot more convincing than AIR. The other one, FREY, been trading nice W bottom, maybe W potential bottom formation on Friday, and it's also bounced right off the 20-day moving average. You should know all the fundamentals and the catalysts have been going on with FREY, so that's a potential opportunity over there. Talk and DRIO, we've been talking about these two as potential sentiment moves off of Canoe, Signify, CMAX, this whole digital health area, O&M, One Medical, a lot of M&A going on. So there's like a double catalyst now in these stocks because, well, DRIO, we think now that we're going to be getting the big national health insurer news towards October 15th. And we also have, obviously, the two employer contracts that were announced a few days ago. And I had my conversation with management, which significantly increased my sentiment towards the company that I've been passing along to other people. So DRIO, I think, continues to look good here. And I think we can continue to see continuation on that stock here this week. And then also Talk seems very compelling, especially if the speculation is true from my colleague. I shared some private messages in our VIP community from someone who knows the space very well, accurately predicted the M&A activity in O&M and Signify, and now is predicting that Talk may be involved in a potential deal, maybe with Aetna, maybe with DRIO, and maybe M&A over here. They turned down a $3 offer just a couple months ago, which is very interesting. The stock was trading in negative EV as of a couple days ago. I think now it's back in positive EV territory. So Talk is a very interesting one from a risk-reward perspective. 20 DMA up here at 117 and dropping could be an area of initial resistance until potentially some of these catalysts play out. We'll see if those happen, those catalysts. Another one, I'm not on top of this, but I've noticed some conversation in the room, the TFFP room. So if you're interested in TFFP, head over to the TFFP research group. Zach and our friend from Dan Carlson, right, from TW Research, has been giving us a lot of content on this one. There's supposedly some potential big catalyst that could be coming Monday. So put that on your watch list and see if that happens. Now, I shared some additional research. This is very interesting. I think there's a lot of momentum going on in I'm getting like pretty bullish over this week. And first of all, the app rankings are really maintaining itself since it had that. It's really maintaining high iOS app rankings, which is very bullish. And they're starting to get all these other exclusive content deals. Now they have $400 million. I had a YouTube creator reach out to me with 1 million YouTube followers who said he's in touch with 5 other YouTube creators. Combined, they have about 12 million YouTube followers, and they're interested on doing some exclusive content for Rumble. They reached out to me because they thought I could help connect them with the right person, which I did. So they were right about that. So that's interesting to see this momentum, and a lot of this is in the Gen Z space. And if you look at the Rumble account, you'll see the overtures they're making to other large YouTube accounts in the Gen Z space right now. So very, very interesting. I'm starting to get very bullish about this. Look, it's not going to fly to 2025 like that. We went through the valuation, went through the downside. It's going to be very volatile, but strong conviction if this thing sells off, it's going to bounce back, right? And now you have weekly options you can sell that started trading late last week. Weekly options, which should have very good premiums. If you want to sell covered calls, you could do that. If you want to sell puts when the stock dives, you could do that. Lots of interesting things to do on Rumble. So I'm very interested in the developments there. It looks like they are having some success. Excuse some background noise here. I got my family with me as we're getting ready to head on over to some family activities in a bit. So other things I wanted to cover is TRT. Randy brought this to us Friday. They had earnings which seemed very, very impressive. I think I still own some over the weekend, but when he noted this, I jumped in. I got in a quick little day trade in, made some money, but I kept some over the weekend. This is the semiconductor company in the silicon carbide space. You can see the headlines look very good with 19-cent EPS sales going up, but the commentary was very bullish. If you look at the full PR over here, with no sign of any slowdown in a TRT, record backlog, balance sheet strong. So that's a very interesting one to look at for possible continuation. Good Gaming, GMER. I'm not in it, but there's been a lot of great collaboration in the GMER research group. People who stuck with it, they saw an over 100% move in the past week. So that's another one you can get involved if you'd like to. Head on over to the GMER research group. I put that link in the VIP trading room the other day, so you can take a look at that. A lot of stocks at 200-day moving averages. SIGA is one. I picked up SIGA on Friday for a bounce off this level. The thing that, I was following this, but the thing that really got me to do it was maybe there's something cooking in monkeypox world. I'm not sure, but because GOVX had a big day on Friday. So whatever pushed that, and I didn't have time to research that, whatever pushed that potentially can be a catalyst to get SIGA to move off the 200-day moving average. But besides that, I love the fundamentals on this company. It's not just about monkeypox. It's about stockpiling for smallpox. The fundamentals are really good. They're doing buybacks. They do dividends. The RSI here is at 24, so it's the 200 DMA. This seems like a good risk reward. Doesn't mean it can't go lower, but hey, it was the right thing to be patient and be out of the stock. Listen, when it broke down below the 20 DMA, and I think the monkeypox headlines starting to get better, I bailed on that stock, and I haven't looked back until now, right? So you got to look at the headlines, the sentiment, and the technicals here to time the entries and exits. All right, so that's all I got. Now, things can definitely change significantly by tomorrow morning, but I'm not going to be here tomorrow morning. So I will definitely try to review some of my positions here in the next 10 minutes I have, my final 10 minutes before the holiday over here, and perhaps put in some limit orders. Again, what I think I may be interested in are KMPH. RELL looks really interesting. Talk looks interesting. I'm in it though, but Talk looks interesting. Had a very strong Friday after that Thursday, held its gains with a higher low. So something to look at, monitor closely. And there was one more that I was really, RUM. Man, that's what I would be doing. Like, honestly, if I was able to beat my computer tomorrow, the top 3 stocks on my list would probably be KMPH, RELL, RUM, and then Talk and DRIO. Call it 5. That's where I'm going to be focusing on. So, guys, hope you found this helpful. I'm going to try to log in late Tuesday night, if I can, because I'm going to miss you guys completely on Tuesday. So we can do a little bit of wrap on what happened on Monday and Tuesday. And one of the things I'm considering doing, you can let me know in the WhatsApp rooms. I'm thinking of potentially doing a wrap every day at 4 p.m. just to review what we talked about in the morning, to see what we did right, what we did wrong, hold ourselves accountable. I think that might be really interesting. If there's enough demand for it, I may do that. So, guys, thanks. We celebrate the Jewish New Year. Happy Rosh Hashanah. And we will see you perhaps Tuesday night, but if not, definitely Wednesday morning, followed by our collaboration session Wednesday, 4:30 p.m. on Zoom. Have a great week, everyone. Thank you.